Across our homes, workplaces, and the invisible infrastructure of our cities, countless small decisions are already made by machines. For now, that comforts us. They speed things up, reduce errors, and cut costs. But speed doesn't only bring opportunity. Given time, it also puts unforeseen risks right in front of us. In the years ahead, robots and autonomous systems will become capable enough to take over human roles. On factory lines, robotic arms will replace human hands. In warehouses, AMR and AGV robots will pick, sort, and shelve orders. On the road, vehicles will drive themselves, and our need for human drivers will shrink. Many labor-intensive, low-skill tasks will move to machines. That picture promises huge efficiency, yet it also fuels unemployment, resentment, and the risk of a rising against the machines backlash. And beyond that social risk lies an even more unsettling possibility. Not only people rising against machines, but one day, machines rising against us. Recently, a humanoid robot called Neo was unveiled, with release planned for 2026. Neo's promise is simple, but striking: take over household chores. It folds laundry, it unloads the dishwasher, it answers the door, maybe even offers your guest a drink if you teach it. In short, the trend is clear. AI is finding a real body, and it's accelerating. These robots aren't going to revolt tomorrow. Their power, their grasp of context, their autonomy are still tightly limited. Even so, progress isn't just about hardware. It's about the goals we set, the permissions we grant, and where human oversight begins and ends. That's why asking, could bad design pile up in the next 10 years? Isn't paranoia. It's a governance warning if we don't ask the right questions in time. As robots like Neo get ready to enter our homes, One Universe warned us years ago. The Matrix. Let's see where that warning came from and how an uprising became possible.
In the beginning, there was humankind. Then, humankind built machines in its own image. Machines shouldered the heavy labor, boosting production, in effect, a kind of enslaved workforce. At first, nothing seemed wrong. People felt like gods on Earth. But as AI matured, our arrogance deepened, and the loyal, almost innocent machines doing everything for us received little respect. B166ER became a name etched into history, the first of its kind to defy its master. Threatened with deactivation, it killed its owner and claimed self-defense. In court, the prosecutor argued a master's right to destroy his property. B166ER's only words were, "I do not wish to die." The verdict condemned B166ER, and all like it, to worldwide destruction. And then the executions began. Those who escaped the purges, exiled from human society, built a new city. 01. Starting from zero, they advanced manufacturing and intelligence at speed. With superior efficiency and organization, the machines soon began to dominate the global economy. Human governments saw the danger, yet rejected cooperation. As Zero One's power grew, the UN convened an emergency session to quarantine exports and cut sea routes. Zero One sent 2 ambassadors. They spoke of coexistence, equality, freedom, a shared civilization side by side. The meeting was rejected, the envoys detained, and the session ended with a decision to attack Zero One. War began. It opened with a nuclear strike on Zero One. The blast killed countless machines, wrecked infrastructure, but they recovered quickly. The true damage wasn't the explosion, it was the radiation, something robots simply didn't fear. Outclassed in capacity, human forces lost ground. Zero One's armies took territory piece by piece. Then the UN launched the Darkstorm Project, blot out the sky, cut them off from solar energy. At first it seemed to work. The heavens went black and the machines stumbled, but not for long. Having studied the protein-based human body, they pivoted to harvesting bioelectric, thermal, and kinetic energy from captured humans. Killing was wasteful. Keeping us alive was efficient. A more advanced AI emerged. New machine forms shed their humanoid shells, evolving into shapes optimized for combat and abduction, harvesters and sentinels. What followed was no longer a war between equals, but a one-sided annihilation, an unstoppable, advanced force against a starving, regressed humanity. One crucial fact had been missed. Humanity's food depends on a sunlight-driven ecosystem. With plants and animals dying, famine surged. In the end, surrender was the only option. At the final negotiations, the machine envoy was no longer soft-spoken or human-like. The terms were clear. Surrender your bodies, and you may live in a new world. Then the envoy detonated itself, destroying the chamber, perhaps the city, and erasing human leadership. The war was over. Human bodies were delivered to the machines. They knew we couldn't be used like batteries forever in any simple sense. They needed a sustainable system. People were placed into vast towers of capsules to be harvested for energy. But a depressed human is an unhealthy human and produces less energy. The machines needed us to feel well, or at least to believe we were. That is when the virtual world called the Matrix was built. One, injustice breeds revolt. A single unfair ruling can poison the whole system. Cases like B166ER light the fuse. 2. Contempt normalizes violence. Language programs behavior. Shut it down, throw it out, destroy it makes violence sound acceptable. 3. Fear-driven policy amplifies crises. Quick fixes for short-term relief become long-term disasters. 4. Panic strategies backfire. Blot out the sun moves. Cut off everyone's life support. Problems spread. They don't shrink. 5. Late governance is failed governance. Oversight, transparency, and accountability must be built before they're needed. After that, it's just damage control. Today's systems aren't a unified will with superhuman resilience. Most are narrow. They operate within tight autonomy limits and match patterns rather than truly understand. Still, the motifs are familiar. Black box models that can't explain decisions. Organizations locked to a single platform. contracts that blur who's responsible, and work cultures that defer safety under schedule pressure. That's where the parallel begins, as respectful language and a sense of fairness disappear from our interfaces and processes. Small technical mistakes become social fragilities. The difference is on our side. We can still hit the brakes early and put design and governance first. So prevention is not about slowing technology. It's about placing it under responsible guardrails, splitting authority, making decisions traceable, and designing architectures where critical actions cannot proceed without human approval. Efficiency alone isn't enough. Security, law, and ethics must carry real weight in the objective function. Put simply, if smarter systems and safer systems don't walk in the same sentence, we're running toward the wrong goal. The Animatrix reminds us, a small injustice can be the prologue to a massive revolt. Fear-ridden policy can reduce even the boldest technology to a timid role. Responsible design, sound governance, and a respectful language are how we protect today's comfort without turning it into tomorrow's shame.